Ajahn Kunsai, I'm wondering what do you see the role of China in this case? Because if you predict that civil war could have happened, China may not want to see civil war happen in Burma neither. So what should be the role of China? Should they put more pressure on Burmese government?
China has a big role to play. I'm sure of that. If you look at the past history of Burma, and especially the Shan states, most of the critical events were decided by the intervention of the Chinese. But we won't go over them now. But anyway, right now what's happening is that the Chinese don't like the Burmese junta very much. At the same time, Beijing doesn't see any alternative. Which forces are the alternative to the SPDC? They still haven't found it. I would say that instead of waiting for it, it should have a hand in it. That would make the SPDC either to change or to collapse. That is, of course, theoretical right now, but on the ground right now, what's happening is that on the one hand, the Chinese want to keep the door, the gateway to the Indian Ocean open. And at the same time, it doesn't want a war on its borders. On its borders are groups like KIA, the Kachin, the Shan State Army South, the Shan State Army South, the UWSA, and the Mengla group. If the SPDC decides to start a war along that area, then all the gateway will be closed. And for another thing, since the coming of Obama administration, and when Secretary of State Hillary Clinton came to visit Asia the first time, and she said, "We are back in Asia." That really panics Beijing, I think. And when Rangoon or Naypyidaw, if you prefer, Naypyidaw was trying to resume a better relations with Washington, it also make Beijing really how would you put it? Very frightened, maybe frightened, or maybe scared. No, scared may be the word. So as long as Beijing does not trust Washington, and Beijing does not really trust Naypyidaw, it is going to keep these groups along the border as their cards. But these cards cannot only depend on Beijing fully. They need to join up together. They need to be united. They need to have a political platform to show that they can become the alternative to the SPDC. And I'm sure that the Beijing can also help in helping them to become the alternative. It doesn't mean that the Beijing should encourage these opposition groups against Naypyidaw. But if these groups are strong, Naypyidaw will have to be careful whether it should make war. But if these groups are if they are weak, then Naypyidaw will always be ready to attack them. So Beijing must help them to become strong. Well, I'm just thinking aloud anyway.
Given that after the election, and we seem to agree what the conclusion will be coming out, so it means more legitimacy of the Burmese government. Do you think it will put less incentive from international community to put pressure on the government? Sai.
Right now, the international community also, I try to think how I can make a clear point between the international community. There's one, for example, like one country, we have with the government, and then also investment going together. So most of the to be pressure or to be working with the government or to the Burmas, and the government also the company are associated with each other. So I think it is a little bit very difficult point, because most of the group are international, or most of the country when we see that want to export the natural resources inside of the Burma and doesn't want to release or non-interfere with the government with the inside of the problem. So for example, like even though like the US, the government have the sanction with Burma, but some of the US the company are still interested to export the gas, oil and gas inside Burma. And also like the neighboring country like in Thailand, we still have many projects related with the Burma, like on the Salawin River, there are so many dam projects, almost 5 dam projects, including the Tanindai Dam or the Nao Si, one project, so 6 projects. And then also